Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. What if the one person who thought she was helping ended up becoming the center of a shocking emotional storm? On The Bold and the Beautiful, all signs point to Taylor Hayes reaching a breaking point in her unconventional therapy sessions with Deacon Sharp, and what's coming next could change everything for both of them in ways no one sees coming. Taylor has always believed in the power of honesty, emotional accountability, and confronting the truth, even when it hurts. That belief is exactly what drew her into trying to help Deacon in the first place. From the outside, it looked like an odd pairing. Deacon, a man with a long history of bad decisions, emotional chaos, and self-sabotage, sitting across from Taylor, one of the show's most respected mental health professionals. But Taylor saw something others didn't. She believed Deacon genuinely wanted to change, that beneath his rough edges and questionable choices was a man desperate to be better than his past. At first, the sessions were cautious. Deacon was guarded, defensive, and clearly unsure whether he could trust Taylor at all. He joked his way through painful topics, deflected when conversations got too real, and tried to charm his way out of confronting his deepest regrets. Taylor, however, didn't let him off the hook. She challenged him, calmly but firmly, asking questions he wasn't used to answering. Why does he sabotage relationships when they start to matter? Why does he cling to validation from women who can never fully choose him? Why does he keep repeating the same patterns even when he knows the outcome will hurt him? Slowly, something shifted. Deacon began opening up in ways he never had before. He talked about the guilt he carries over hope, the damage he's done, and the constant feeling that no matter how hard he tries, he'll always be seen as the villain. Those moments of vulnerability made Taylor believe the therapy was working. She thought she was guiding him towards self-awareness and growth. What she didn't anticipate was how deeply this process would start affecting her. As the sessions continued, Taylor found herself thinking about Deacon outside of their appointments. She caught herself replaying conversations in her mind, wondering if she'd pushed too hard or not enough. She began defending him when others spoke badly about him, insisting that he was trying to change. And somewhere along the way, the professional boundaries she'd always prided herself on began to blur. That's where things take a dangerous turn. Taylor starts realizing that these sessions are no longer just about Deacon's healing. They're stirring something inside her too. She sees reflections of her own emotional struggles in Deacon's confessions, especially when it comes to longing for love, feeling misunderstood, and fearing that certain mistakes can never truly be forgiven. Deacon's raw honesty begins to resonate with her on a personal level, and that realization shakes her. Meanwhile, Deacon senses the shift. He notices Taylor's tone softens. Her questions become more personal, her concern more intense. For a man who thrives on emotional connection and validation, this is both comforting and confusing. He starts wondering if Taylor sees him as more than just a patient. And Deacon, being Deacon, doesn't exactly shy away from leaning into that possibility. This emotional tension builds quietly but relentlessly until Taylor reaches a moment of clarity that stops her cold. She realizes she can no longer continue these sessions without compromising everything she stands for as a therapist. The ethical line has been crossed, even if neither of them explicitly acknowledges it out loud. Taylor knows she has to end the therapy before it goes any further. When she finally sits down with Deacon to tell him the sessions are over, the mood is heavy. Deacon is caught off guard. He thought they were making progress. He believed Taylor was the one person who truly understood him without judgment. Her decision feels like abandonment, reopening old wounds he's spent his life trying to heal. But Taylor doesn't just end the therapy and walk away. That's when the big confession comes into play. With visible emotion, Taylor admits that the reason she has to stop isn't because Deacon has failed, but because she has. She confesses that she allowed her personal feelings to interfere with her professional judgment. She tells him that helping him forced her to confront parts of herself she's been avoiding, and that continuing would only hurt them both. It's a moment of rare vulnerability for Taylor, one that leaves Deacon stunned. For Deacon, this confession hits harder than any criticism ever could. On one hand, it validates his belief that he matters, that he's capable of impacting someone on a deep emotional level. On the other hand, it reinforces his fear that whenever things start to feel real, they inevitably fall apart. He's left wondering whether Taylor truly cares about him as a person, or if he's just another complicated case that became too messy to handle. The fallout from this moment doesn't end with the two of them. Word of their sessions and Taylor's sudden decision to stop is bound to raise eyebrows, especially with Brooke, who already has complicated feelings about both Taylor and Deacon. Brooke may question Taylor's judgment, suspecting that history is repeating itself in a new and troubling way. Ridge, too, could find himself caught in the middle, forced to confront uncomfortable questions about Taylor's emotional stability and choices. As for Taylor, this confession marks a turning point. Ending the therapy doesn't bring her relief. Instead, it leaves her questioning her own boundaries, her unresolved feelings, and whether she's truly as healed as she's always claimed to be. She's spent years positioning herself as the voice of reason and emotional strength, but this situation exposes cracks she can no longer ignore. Deacon, meanwhile, is left at a crossroads. Without Taylor's guidance, he must decide whether he'll continue striving to be better or fall back into old habits of self-destruction. Her confession lingers in his mind, challenging him to confront the idea that he's not beyond redemption, but also reminding him how fragile emotional connections can be. What makes this storyline so powerful is that it isn't about a dramatic explosion or a shocking betrayal. It's about two deeply flawed people colliding at a moment when both are vulnerable. Taylor's decision to end the therapy, paired with her honest confession, may ultimately protect them both, but it also opens the door to new emotional consequences neither of them is prepared for. The question now is whether this really is the end of their connection, or just the beginning of a much more complicated chapter. On The Bold and the Beautiful, confessions rarely come without consequences, and Taylor's truth may have set off a chain reaction that no one can control. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.